Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Please delete as applicable because the internet is worldwide and time zones are indeed a thing. Can I get a wee audio check there, please, in the chat? And we'll start to say some hellos and get this thing off. Sansom says he's not here, but he also has a really good idea. He says, don't forget to hit that like button whenever you arrive. That's good. The wonderful, delectable Emma G's in the house. October's in. Uh, oh yes, and the audio's good. Quack quack. It's a duck saying audio good as well. We're all good. Audio proper strong one. Yes, I like it. I am a dick. Hey, you crazy cats. 42's live streams and videos are simply not available on vinyl. You will have to go to the YouTubes for that. So if you want content about British traditions and culture, cutting-edge social commentary from an unapologetically patriotic perspective, along with a side order of madness you simply will not find anywhere else, then this is the place for you. And to all those early adapters in the chat, don't forget to hit the notification bell. That's how you get the good stuff and make sure you never miss a tasty treat. So with that being said and done, squeeze yourself in. Let's get into it. You know you want to. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Please delete as applicable because it's the internet and time zones are indeed a thing. We had a slight boomer moment. We're a bit excited about this screen and something just didn't look right. And I forgot to hit the fucking intro thing. But there we go. Anyway, start from scratch. It's all good. And we'll say some hellos. Yeah, we'll go back to here. Emma G's in. Sansom, what about you? October. Quack quack at the ducks. Exile fact. Exile thinking. Put my teeth back in. Amanda Lee's in. Good evening. Carlos Skywalker. My teeth need really fixed. Carlos Skywatcher. Welcome aboard, chum. Glad you came across. October. There's ducks. Regs is in. My ulcer brother. There's a video going to come up later on. You're going to like it. I'm telling you, you will. Rory Herbert, what about you here? Drag, stuck. Gammon sandwich. Anglo-Saxons in. Glad you're in, brother, because Kipling's the first segment. I couldn't have started that without you being here, chum. I really couldn't. But before we get into the content, now that we're back in a proper groove, Gammon sandwich, what about you, chum? Terrastatic. Right, yes, I think that's everybody. We will do a little bit of the housekeeping. And what have we got? Tomorrow at 7 p.m. on Ragnar Ironspier's channel, Jack and Rags will be playing host to Chris Thrall. Chris Thrall is a really good guest. Ex-Royal Marine Commando, now does like life coaching. Sound dude. Had his troubles in life, got over them, moving forward. That'll be a good show. You got double dip of Rags this week because he was on earlier, done a good stream with Wally G, who will be coming back. And what else we got? Yes, John Davison is now streaming on Tuesdays and Fridays. Friday is going to be, this is Friday that he does a movie review, and this week William has picked End of Days, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger and Gabriel Bryan. But that will depend on how John's feeling, so keep an eye out. John has been ill, and he so whether or not he streams is down to his health. I honestly, and not just for the streams, I hope that he is feeling better and gets back to his usual routine. I would love to see that, but he also hopefully doesn't push himself just a little bit too much. And the other show that I like to shout out to is Dave's Waffle House, who I'll be shouting out about again later on. I'm alluding to future content in this. But he does the show most nights 8:30 and interacts with chat. You can get points and all on his show now. It's all good. It's a good wee community over there. It's very chilled out. It's all good. So there's one for you to look out for. And as always, although everything's ours about face this evening, but if you came along from Sansom and Bonnie Ladd's stream earlier, a very warm welcome to you. And anybody that's watching my show, and doesn't watch Sansom and Bonnie Ladd, either on Sansom Community's channel or Bonnie Ladd's channel, they share hosting earlier on the Saturday evening, you're missing out, because if you like my stuff, you're going to like their stuff. And I have a new subscriber, Werfel 66. Thank you very much for subscribing, and a very warm welcome to the channel. Yeah, Emma G is rocking the points over there. She's getting there. Evening, Paul. What about you, chum? And Robert Eggman's in. Bas Coolwit. I'm sorry, being if I'm butchering your name. But I'm doing my best with it. It's one of those things. And now we've got all that done, we are going to jump. Oh, yes, Rags, we'll say it. Remember to hit that smash that like button. And the other thing I will say is, if you're listening to this on your phone or whatever, and you have an option of hooking up to a better speaker for the second segment, I would suggest you get your good earbuds on, or hook up to your better speaker, your better Bluetooth speaker, because we have something very, very new coming out. Because your boy 42 has been very busy with Justice Kane, and I've got a pre-recorded interview with them. It's all on the cam. We're going to be playing that tonight, and part of that we will be premiering their latest song, which features your boy 42. So that's a once in a lifetime thing to hear that for the first time live. Jack London, what about you, chum? Thanks for jumping in. Martin Baist. See, I'm fucking all over the place. I'm all excited about this song. I can't remember if I shared Jade or not. So if I've shared Jade twice, I've shared Jade twice. Right now. So we're going to begin with a little bit of Rudyard Kipling, and I'm going to move this down and see what it looks like on the screen. See if we need to zoom us. Yeah, we're going to zoom that in. A few. Probably do that again. We could. Right, this is coming from the Encyclopedia Britannica, which, as we know, has got a very anti-British slant to it. Of late, I'm not sure exactly when that started, but they do present accurate facts. It's an opinion where they become problematic. So I'm risking it with the Roger Kipling. So we're going to talk about Roger Kipling, and we're going to play a couple of voice recordings of a couple of poems. Before I get too involved in that, I'm going to. I am not Paul, but I'll tell you what I am doing. I'm taking a screenshot of that comment so I can check it out. Mm. Yeah, Emma G mentioned that earlier. Martin, he does make exceedingly good cakes. Right, okay. Right, we're fine. We're good to go. Roger Kipling in full. Joseph Roger Kipling was born on the 30th of December 1865 in Bombay, now called Mumbai, India, and he died on the January the 18th of 1936 in London, England. English short story writer, poet, and novelist, chiefly remembered for his celebration of British imperialism, his tales of poems of the British soldiers in India, and his his tales for children. He received the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1907. So we're going to talk a little bit about him, then we'll do a poem, then we'll do another little bit about him, then we'll do a poem. So that's a format we're going for. Kipling's father, John Lockwood Kipling, was an artist and scholar who had considerable influence in his son's work. Became curator of the Lahore Museum and is described as presiding over this wonder house in the first chapter of Kim, Roger's most famous novel. His mother was Alice MacDonald, two of whose sisters married the highly successful 19th century painters Sir Edward Brune Jones and Sir Edward Poynter, while the third married Alfred Baldwin and became the mother of Stanley Baldwin, later Prime Minister. These connections were of lifelong importance to Kipling, and these connections are a lot to do with why he got as far as he did. The man is the establishment, he has got connections. Much of his childhood was unhappy. Kipling was taken to England by his parents at the age of 6 and was left for 5 years at a foster home in South Sea, the horrors of which he described in the story Black Sheep in 1888. He went on to the United Services College at Westborough, North Devon, a new, inexpensive, and inferior boarding school. It haunted Kipling for the rest of his life, but always as the glorious place celebrated in Stockley and Co., which must have been written in 1899, and related stories, and an unruly paradise in which the highest goals of English education are met amid a trumpet of teasing, bullying, and beating. I think that was probably quite standard for the era. The Stacky Saga is one of Kipling's great imaginative achievements. Readers repelled by the strain of brutality, even of cruelty, in his writing should remember the sensitive and short sighted boy who was brought to terms with the ethos of this deplorable establishment through the demands of self preservation. Now, we're going to be talking about Wordsworth later on. Wordsworth is a romantic and he likes to. One second, I'm just checking the thing. Quite a family. Yes, it is quite a family. Right, we're fine. We have nothing that we need to really worry about in comments. Uh, Kipling's a realist. He sees the world as it is. And that was probably the result of the early childhood where he was in a foster home with people that didn't really seem to like him, and then in a very demanding school environment. So he had no choice but to see and interact with the world as it was. And that's why his depiction of society at the time is the way it is. Kipling returned to India in 1882 and worked for 7 years as a journalist. His parents, although not officially important, belonged to the highest Anglo Indian society, and Rudyard thus had opportunities for exploring the whole range of that life. And while he had remained keenly observant of the thronging spectacle of native India, which he engaged his interest and affliction from his earliest childhood. He was quickly filling the journals he worked for with prose and sketches and the light verse. He published the verse collection Departmental Duties in 1886 and the short story collection Plain Tales from the Hill in 1888. And between 1887 and 1889, he brought out 6 paper covered volumes of short stories. Among the latter were Soldiers 3, The Phantom Rickshaw, containing the story The Man Who Would Be King, and Wee Willie Winkie, containing Baa Black Sheep. When Kipling returned to England in 1889, his reputation had preceded him, and within a year he was acclaimed as one of the most brilliant prose writers of his time. His fame was redoubled upon publication of 1892 of the first collection, Bargreen Ballads, which contained such popular poems as Manday, Gunga Din, and Danny Deever. Not since the English poet Lord Byron had such a reputation been achieved so rapidly. And when the poet laureate Alfred Lord Tennyson died in 1892, it may be said that Kipling took his place in popular estimation. Right, I'm going to break here for the first poem, which means this is going to have to come down. I'll check. No, mate, Justice Kane. They are they're a pop group, and they bring out songs. One that you possibly have heard is the Big White Triangle that I play for an intro. And tonight I'm having an interview with Justice Kane and premiering the new song in which I feature. It's all mad. David Davis, right, Paul, right, Sansom, right, we're all good. Right, yes. So Kipling had a quite brutal early life and came to see the world as it was, and then he came back to England. And the first poem we're going to play of his is Anglo's Gonna Love This, when the Saxon began to hate. I just get this pulled up. Right. StreamYard. Present. Share screen. Also known as the Wrath of the Awakened Saxon or the Beginnings.
Hello everyone, I'm James from By the Fireside, and today I'm going to read The Wrath of the Awakened Saxon by Rudyard Kipling. This poem is also known as The Beginnings, but I will be reading the altered version. It was not part of their blood, it came to them very late, with long arrears to make good, when the Saxon began to hate. They were not easily moved. They were icy, willing to wait, till every count should be proved, ere the Saxon began to hate. Their voices were even and low, their eyes were level and straight. There was neither sign nor show when the Saxon began to hate. It was not preached to the crowd, it was not taught by the state. No man spoke it aloud when the Saxon began to hate. It was not suddenly bred, it will not swiftly abate. Through the chilled years ahead, when time shall count from the date that the Saxon began to hate.
Right. So that's his observation of the Saxon people and their ability to take their time and give people chances before they rush to judgment. Now, I messed that up, but that will be easy rectified. 1 second. Right. Right. One 1 second. I've just lost my place. 1 second. All right. We're all good. Just need to get this back up. There we go. That's better. In 1892, Kipling married Caroline Ballister, the sister of Walcott Ballister, an American publisher and writer, with whom he had collaborated in the Nucala in 1892, a facile and unsuccessful romance. That year, the young couple moved to the United States and settled on Mrs. Kipling's property in Vermont, but their manners and attitude were considered objectionable by their neighbours. Unable or unwilling to adjust to life in America, the Kiplings returned to England in 1896. Even after Kipling remained very aware that the Americans were foreigners, and he extended to them, as to the French, no more than a semi exemption from his proposition lesser breeds that only lesser breeds are born beyond the English Channel. Oh, they're trying to say that he's a racist. Hmm. Why am I not surprised? Besides the numerous short story collections and poetry collections such as The Seven Seas, Kipling published his best known novels in the 1890s and immediately thereafter. His novel, The Light That Failed, is the story of a painter going blind and spurned by the woman he loves. Captain's Courageous, in spite of his sense of adventure, is a burdened, excessive, descriptive writing. Kim, 1901, about an Irish orphan in India, is a classic. Is a classic. Then the Jungle Book and the second Jungle Book are stylistically superb collections of stories. These books give further proof that Kipling excelled in telling a story, but was inconsistent in producing balanced, cohesive novels. I think the man was very balanced. Uh, and to actually make the point of how balanced Kipling was, I'm going to bring up the second poem, which is Norman and Saxon. Right, just get this up. Take this to the theater. Hold 1 second. I need to. Mm, One second. Yep, right. Sorry, I had to do a bit of timestamp finding there, but we're good. This is Norman and Saxon by Roger Kipling.
"My son," said the Norman Baron, "I am dying, and you will be heir to all the broad acres in England that William gave me for share when he conquered the Saxon at Hastings, and a nice little handful it is. But before you go over to rule it, I want you to understand this. The Saxon is not like us Normans. His manners are not so polite, but he never means anything serious till he talks about justice and right. When he stands like an ox in the furrow, with his sullen set eyes on your own, and grumbles, 'This isn't fair dealing,' my son, leave the Saxon alone. You can horsewhip your Gascony archers, or torture your Picardy spears, but don't try that game on the Saxon. You'll have the whole brood round your ears, from the richest old thane in the county to the poorest chained serf in the field. They'll be at you and on you like hornets, and if you are wise, you will yield. But first you must master their language, their dialect, proverbs, and songs. Don't trust any clerk to interpret when they come with the tale of their wrongs. Let them know that you know what they're saying. Let them feel that you know what to say. Yes, even when you want to go hunting, hear 'em out if it takes you all day. They'll drink every hour of the daylight and poach every hour of the dark. It's a sport, not the rabbits they're after, with plenty of game in the park. Don't hang them or cut off their fingers. That's wasteful as well as unkind, for a hard-bitten south country poacher makes the best man-at-arms you can find. Appear with your wife and the children at their weddings and funerals and feasts. Be polite but not friendly to bishops. Be good to all poor parish priests. Say we, us, and ours when you're talking, instead of you fellows and I. Don't ride over seeds, keep your temper, and never you tell 'em a lie. This is another of Kipling's history poems.
There we go. That was Saxon and Norman. And as you can see, he's describing how to describe when you walk in other people's land. And I found it to be quite a good idea of how to conduct yourself. And I don't know, but of course, Encyclopedia Britannica and the Harrying of the North prepared the all that shit. You may have a point, Sanson. Share screen. Nah, like this. Right. In 1902, Kipling bought a house in Burwouse, Sussex, which remained his home until his death. Sussex was the background for much of his later writing, especially The Puck of Pook's Hill in 1906 and Rewards and Fairies in 1910, two volumes that, although devoted to simple dramatic presentation of English history, embodied some of his deepest uh, intuitions. In 1907, he received the Nobel Prize for Literature, the first Englishman to be so honoured. In South Africa, where he spent much time, he was given a house by Cecil Rhodes, the diamond magnate of South Africa, a South African statement. This association fostered Kipling's imperial. So 11 o'clock, persuasions were to grow stronger with the years. These convictions are not to be dismissed in a word. They were bound up with a genuine sense of a civilizing mission that required every Englishman, or more broadly, every white man, to bring European culture to those he considered heathen natives, the heathen natives of the uncivilized world. Believe there's a poem about this. Kipling's ideas were not in accord with much that was liberal in the thought of the age, and as he became older, he was increasingly isolated figure. When he died 2 days before King George V, he must have seemed to many a far less representative Englishman than his sovereign. Uh, well, now we're going to play the poem which talks about that bit. Sansom's on fire. And they say he has only 4 fingers because his fifth is stuck up his nose, stuck right up his nose. that is indeed poetry. Now, so our last Kipling poem will be The White Man's Burden. One second. Right. Back to StreamYard. Sent. Share screen. Share screen. So we have just heard or read Britannica saying that he seemed to be quite racist and didn't think that foreign people were as good as British people. And here we go. Here's his poem about that, and we will see what we think.
The White Man's Burden by Rudyard Kipling. Take up the white man's burden, send forth the best ye breed. Go bind your sons to exile, to serve your captives' need. To wait in heavy harness, on fluttered folk and wild, your new caught sullen peoples, half devil and half child. Take up the white man's burden, in patience to abide, to veil the threat of terror, and to check the show of pride. By open speech and simple, 100 times made plain, to seek another's profit and work another's gain. Take up the white man's burden, the savage wars of peace, fill full the mouth of famine, and bid the sickness cease. And when your goal is nearest, the end for others sought, watch sloth and heathen folly bring all your hopes to naught. Take up the white man's burden, no tawdry rule of kings, but toil of serf and sweeper, the tale of common things. The ports ye shall not enter, the roads ye shall not tread. Go make them with your living, and mark them with your dead. Take up the white man's burden, and reap his old reward. The blame of those ye better, the hate of those ye guard, the cry of hosts ye humour, slowly towards the light. Why brought ye us from bondage, our loved Egyptian night? Take up the white man's burden, ye dare not stoop to less, nor call too loud on freedom, to cloak your weariness. By all ye cry or whisper, by all ye leave or do, the silent, sullen peoples shall weigh your gods and you. Take up the white man's burden, have done with childish days, the lightly proffered laurel, the easy, ungrudged praise, comes now to search your manhood through all the thankless years, cold-edged with dear-brought wisdom, the judgment of your peers.
Well, A couple of things we're going to address. I do believe that is Sargon reading that, but the YouTube channel is not Sargon's. I think what's happened is Sargon has read it at some stage. Somebody swiped the audio and they have used it. There's a similar thing going on. There's a similar thing going on with Stephen Molyneux. Stephen Molyneux did a very good rendition of the beginnings or the Wrath of the Awakened Saxon, whichever you want to call it, which I cannot find anywhere on YouTube, but I've seen it sampled. And unfortunately, the way they've done it, it doesn't really work. So I had to use the Fireside one. So there is that. But yeah, I think why they're describing Kipling as a bit racist is he looked at how white people went to foreign lands, bettered them, died in doing so in quite a large amounts, and got no thanks for it. Stefan was cancelled. Stuff was taken off everywhere. There was a decision made that he would not have a public persona anymore, and it went fucking gone. That's what happened. Now, what I'm going to say next is what I'm going to say next is if you've got better earbuds you could put in, if you've got a better Bluetooth speaker you could hook up to, now's the time to start doing that. We're going to move into the next. Stefan was awesome. We're going to move into the next segment, which is my conversation interview with Justice Kane. And this is going to involve music, and if you've got the option of better, if you've got the option of better audio, probably you want to use that. And here we go. One second. Where is this? Right. Here we go. Okay, everybody. I have Al Mack and Justice Kane here with me today. We're doing this pre-recorded because they're both working musicians. They both gig, and therefore doing a show with me that goes out at 10:30 on a Saturday night isn't really going to work. And we wanted to get this done, so it's pre-recorded. With no further ado, I'll introduce my two guests. Al Mack, what about you, Sean?
Hello, mate. Good evening, everybody. Although it's morning here, and I've got a hangover. But yeah, good evening, everyone in the stream.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing about doing it on Saturday morning. I think we've all got hangovers, but there is that. Welcome back, good friend of the channel. Always have good content with you, so thanks for coming on.
Yeah,
Justice, what about you, Sean?
Hey, doing great, man. It's lovely to be here. Lovely to have finally met you with your voice, and looking forward to this.
Yeah, I'm really pleased to meet you as well because I've been getting bits of music and stuff back and forward for a while. Because tell you what, people, we have been busy boys. Actually, Justice and Al have been busier than I have because they did the hard bit. But yeah, Justice, I feel like I've got to know you a bit, listen to your voice and all that.
Yeah, your voice has been in my head now for a couple of months, and it's like, yeah, I kind of got this image of you. So I'm really looking forward to the video because I'm gonna
Yeah.
finally see what you look like, and
Oh
then
no,
be like,
no,
oh,
you
right,
won't.
okay.
No, you won't. You haven't seen what his
Yeah.
legs and boots are like.
And
Yeah.
It's the
Well, your
anonymous
taste in
poet
shoes,
talking.
then.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, I think we've said enough now that we need to spill the beans. So here's what happened. Al Mack came on for me with a conversation some months ago, and he was talking about how he was collaborating with other people, and some of the people that he was working with couldn't really just go to any studio because of the content they were producing. And I wanted to write something that spoke to this effort by people that think a bit politically like us, from grassroots, to try to reclaim our culture. And I wrote a poem after the stream right away. I think I had it written in about half an hour. In 10 minutes, I had a voice recording, and I sent it off the Almac with the sort of message, right? I've wrote this, you caused it. What do you want to do with it? And take it from there, Al.
Yeah, that's right. Because you sent me an MP3 of it with you sort of narrating the poem, speaking the poem, and the text of it as well. And straight away, I just thought, yeah, this is bang on. This is exactly what we're talking about. The culture being eroded, and everything that those that are in power are doing. And so, and I thought, well, you sent it to me, and I thought, do you want me to do something with it? But I already wanted to do something with it anyway because I really liked it, and I've never done anything like this before, like we've done. Not quite. Now there has been a couple of tracks of Justice Kane stuff on our first album where it was basically talking all the way through it, and it was a great concept on John's Revelation. But anyway, back to this. I thought, so I collaborate with quite a lot of people online and remotely. I thought, well, who's the best person that this is going to go to that I can collaborate with it and come up with the song, come up with the. Originally, I thought one. So well, obviously, I thought of Justice Kane to do it, and originally the brief was, so look, here's the lyrics. Write a song using these lyrics. Then when he heard the narrated version with your voice, the MP3 that you sent me, he just said, no, he's got to be on it. His voice has got to be on it. So and I agreed, and he sort of drafted up a mock up of it of the poem going over a beat and some basic chord structure, and then sent that back over to me. So yeah, just take it from there.
Yeah, that's very good, Al. That's a very good explanation
Yeah, I've
of
done this before.
what happened. Al? Yeah, and because you rang me, I was on my way to Anglesey. We was having a little holiday, going camping, and you said, "Oh yeah, got this idea." And like I said to 42 before, I hadn't done anything for a while, and it was like, yeah, itching to do something. And like you said, when I heard the voice, it was like, wow, this guy's got to be the lead singer in a sense. It's like, it's just perfect because he can do it. And it was so rhythmical. And I thought, I wonder if it's going to fit. And it did. It just fitted so well. It was like, wow, yeah. And yeah, it's been really cool. And then all the other bits that Al's done and developed the song. And with Tim, the keyboard player, done some fantastic stuff. And it really changed everything. I remember Al sending me a text, and he said, "Fuck. Oh shit, sorry, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark."
Oh,
And I
swear
said to
away.
my missus,
Oh,
I said, he's never sent me this many exclamation marks in his life. He was like, this is a game changer. And he was like, yeah. And it was like, and everything just then snowballed like as usual. It just developed into this great song. So I'm, glad that we were a part of it. So well done to you, 42, because it was great poetry, but I look upon them as lyrics. They were like lyrics of a song that was already done, you know. And it's like I didn't have to do much to it at all.
That's it. And
Yeah.
I gave, you mentioned Tim there, I gave Tim a brief. I said, look, I want some choir on this. I already had sort of that enigma type thing going on, and I wanted it very ethereal. I said, I want some choir. I don't want to say too much, we'll hear it. And I want some ominous strings going through it. But when he sent me back all the tracks, I was just like, fucking hell, that's just mad. So yeah, I had a lot of fun, sort of fitting it all in, and so he basically got my brief completely, and what he did was awesome. But he's a top guy, and his playing's amazing, but his sort of library of sounds is just ridiculous. You know, sort of like 6,000 sounds he's got going on that he can pull up at any time. You know, it's amazing stuff.
Yeah, right. Do you think we've teased these people enough and we'll play the track?
Yeah, we don't want to overcook it. I think, oh yeah, that's a
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, go for it.
Right, I'll get this pulled up now. There we go. Back to StreamYard, just check this. I'm going to pop us off the screen. So right, that's what I wanted. Here we go.
Hello, this is 42 speaking. Welcome to the Resistance. You are not alone, and we shall walk this journey together. What about you, Sean? If one brings a guitar and one brings a voice, then they stand together and make their own choice. Let us gather together those that can perform, and from the scarce timbers build our own platform. We're from that grand house they tried to burn down. There's gold in the ashes if you look around. Let us gather together those that can perform, then from those scarce timbers build our own platform. Build our own platform. We will sing words of wisdom. We will sing world harmony, melody, and rhyme. We descended from minstrels in old days of yore. We will create a culture as we did once before, forced to stand by as our country was sold. Did you really think we'd leave that story untold? So one brings a guitar and one brings a voice, then they stand together and make their own choice. You have seen the future, the way forward is clear. Among us still stands a modern day Shakespeare. You have seen the future, the way forward is clear. Among us still stands a modern day Shakespeare. Forced to stand by as our country was sold. Did you really think we'd leave that story untold? We will sing words of wisdom. We will sing we will sing harmony, melody, rhyme. Harmony, melody, and rhyme. guitar and one brings a voice. Then they stand together and make their own choice. I have seen the future, the way forward is clear. Among us still stands a modern day Shakespeare. With power and wealth, you control the mainstream, but you never realized you could not kill a dream. So we will gather together those that can perform, and from the scarred timbers build our own platform. You're talking to 42. What about you, chum? If one brings a guitar and one brings a voice, then they stand together and make their own choice. We will sing words of wisdom, we will sing for all time. We will sing for our people, harmony, melody, and pride. We will sing words of wisdom, we will sing for all time. We will sing for our people with the ancient trilogy of harmony, melody, pride. We create large society through family, God, and tribe. The gods of water, air, and land promised through the land. The earth, the moon, the sun, each became a deity in the parts of another trilogy. Is it a coincidence or is it just a blind that we might bring excellence in harmony, melody, and pride? With power and wealth, you control the mainstream, but you never realized you could not kill a dream. You cannot kill a dream. And we shall walk this journey together.
Well, there we have it. Yeah, shame that the audio over the stream is, it's never the best. So I know that video is going to be up on 42's channel soon. So if anyone wants to hear it, so it's here in its fullest entirety, then check it out when it's up on the channel for sure.
Yeah, that was brilliant.
Yeah,
I just everything cut out for me, so there was no music in it or anything really, and but the video, see how it really went, and right at the end, got the whole walking thing. It's brilliant. Loads of stuff in there. Good work. Nice, clear, video. So
yeah,
I've been looking forward to hear it with the music louder.
yeah. This segment's going into tonight's stream, and the video on its own goes live at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. And in the description, I've got the names in the order of the buildings, the three ruins at the start. One's in Downhill, Northern Ireland, one's in Inverness, Scotland, the other one's in England. And I also have the names and the places of all the stone circles, passageway, tombs, and stuff, and the date they were constructed. Putting it together was it was interesting, and I think I managed to hit all the cultural marks that I wanted to get into it.
Yeah, definitely. And like the pictures on the wall, obviously, and they were so graphic, and it was so clear, and it was like that was very good because you got time to take it in, and with the stones and everything. Yeah, I said it's I'd love to see that again. Yeah, well done, mate. Well done.
Well, I live in the best open air 24/7 art gallery in the world, so it'd be a shame not to use that.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, those murals are just the detail on some of these. I presume they're later murals. They're looking at a lot of different technique. They're just incredible detail on them.
Those murals are approximately they've been up about a year and a half, I would say. the area where they're in, that Freedom Corner, has been very heavily muralled. They tend to change them approximately every 10 to 12 years, thereabouts. So, and the other thing is see the time lapse footage of the sky at the end. I ripped that off Dave's Waffle House channel. I told him I needed some nice sky, and I sent him an email.
Was that the pyramid? Was that the pyramid thing before you do?
Oh no, the pyramid thing is the bit at the end where the stones that are sitting on top of each other. That is a very old passage tune at Shaw's Bridge, Belfast. Originally, that would have been covered in soil, and you'd have had a passageway there, and the remains of bodies would have went in there. But the sky bit where that I have in between all the pictures of the time lapse of the sky, I sent Dave's Waffle House an email saying I need some nice sky, and he says, "Yeah, just go onto my channel and rip whatever you want." So stole that. There you go.
So I think you need to spill the beans, because there's the small stones in that circle there that you walk to.
Yeah,
I think you need to tell everyone why you really went there. Come on.
No, look, I do not go to Giant's Ring in the evening for any of that dog and malarkey. That does not happen.
Giant's Ring. That's just a great name for a dogging area, isn't it?
Yeah, it's I don't actually the car park to it has a very long lane up to it, and they put gates at the bottom of the very long lane not that long ago, relatively recently, which get locked earlier in the evening to try and stop that malarkey. But people will be people.
You got in there anyway.
Yeah.
So how we got to this when I was trying to talk about the pyramids of Egypt?
I'm afraid that's my terrible influence. I'm afraid. Sorry about that. You're trying to keep it all cultural and serious, and I'm talking about dogging.
Yeah, Justice, what were you going to say about the Egyptian pyramids? I'm interested.
About the pyramid that I saw in your video 42. It was like I don't know if you'd seen Alternative Knowledge, where I'm actually in Egypt at the pyramids, and I film the song Alternative Knowledge. Have you seen that one?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, and it's fantastic. Have you ever been to Egypt?
No, I haven't.
Well,
it's sort of on the list.
Yeah, it was on my bucket list. Luckily got to go there, and just like, wow, when you get up close to them, it's like, wow, what the hell, man.
Yep.
Yeah, it was an interesting experience. I have to tell you about it sometime.
Yep, slightly higher on my list is a trip to Pompeii. No.
Oh, I was there about 10 years ago. Yeah, that's spooky. That is, seeing people frozen in lava or magma or whatever. Yeah, that's an interesting place. I walked up Vesuvius as well. Well, I'll play up it. Still smoking, it is, Vesuvius.
Yes, it's getting ready to go again.
Yep, it's Napoli ain't a great city, so they could do with getting rebuilt at some time.
No, is it not Etna that's smoking at the moment?
I don't know, but it was Vesuvius was smoking a bit when I was there.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on at Etna.
I ended up on a cruise. One of the places we called into was that town at the bottom of Etna, and we went up the street, and on the map it said there was a Roman amphitheater. And I've got the bit exactly on the map where the amphitheater is supposed to be. And I'm thinking, well, fuck, how can I not see it? It's supposed to be big. And in the middle of a roundabout, there was a wee wooden structure, and you went in through the door, and the fucker was on the ground. It had been buried by previous lava.
Yeah. Wow. And how much of it was excavated? Could you see a lot of it?
Not a lot. You could see bits and pieces, and there was a lot of column pillars that would have been holding stuff up, but it wasn't like a fully formed amphitheater. Anyway, we seem to have had quite the tangent.
Yeah, let's get back to the dogging.
Ow, no.
No. I suppose we're right to talk about the what's going on with this track, and
Yes.
and it's going to be on a new album, which
Yes.
the new Justice Kane album. We had, I think we started recording just before the lockdowns, and I think one of the earlier songs of the track called COVID Kids, which does seem a bit dated now, but not really. You know, it's there's a new variant out and all that old bullshit.
No,
oh, go on, mate.
I actually think it's quite good timing for that, because people have now had a bit of a chance to reflect on
exactly
the bullshit
The
that went on.
lies.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those lyrics were sort of written right in the middle of it, and now we can see that it was what was said in that song, has been proved to be true. And there's one about Nikola Tesla, how he was sort of famously cheated out of a lot of his inventions and his wealth and all that. That's a cool. Both Kobe Kids and the Nikola Tesla song are quite sort of punky. There's a track called Mercury Rising. It's just the most bizarre track ever, but it's really good.
So in a good way.
In a really good way, yeah, in a really good way. Yeah, always. I like quirky anyway,
Yeah.
So
We are quirky.
I've had the sneak preview on a couple of those songs, and they're fucking excellent. Really interesting side thing about Nikola Tesla. He is the term gaslighting that people will know from people doing freaky shit. That actually ended up coming from Nikola Tesla. Whenever he was putting whenever his form of electric lights were going in, the people that ran the gaslighting were deliberately electrocuting dogs and stuff to try and get. Yep. And they were deliberately electrocuting dogs and stuff.
And elephants as well. The whole slur on his name was unbelievable. What they did against him.
Yeah, it's the man was persecuted, but it was the people who ran all the gas lights. They didn't want their gas lights replaced, so they tried to make the electric light more dangerous than what it was.
Yeah.
I mean, I've electrocuted my dog, but it wasn't on purpose. He's fine.
Yeah,
He's fine.
Look, Tesla wanted to make free energy for the whole world, and they abused his knowledge because they, as always, want to make money out of the most everything that they possibly can. So wires and everything like this was all going to make money. Where Tesla's idea of free energy wouldn't make any money. So they just obliterated all his ideas, but they used his ideas, especially like if you get into the ideas of the stuff, kind of space stuff, weapons and atomizers and HARP and all the sound waves and all the stuff he was dealing with. They're using that technology now, as you can see in Hawaii. Sorry to deviate there a little bit, but that's just been amazing. Have you seen that 42? The stuff that's going on in Hawaii.
I haven't seen very much. I don't know. They're living in cities in the middle of a jungle with one road in, one road out, and they refuse to fucking maintain the land around them, and they're all surprised that they get fires. It's fucking nuts.
Some people.
It's a different viewpoint.
Yeah, it was. Some people think that some of the fires we started, you see some of the destruction, that they're actually caused by a weapon. Now, it might seem a bit far-fetched at first, but you were telling us about that, weren't you, Justice? And
yeah, the stuff I've been seeing is amazing.
Yeah,
it's like
deliberate.
I just found out now, Al, that all the water was turned off. You know, they were saying there was no fire trucks. Well, the fire trucks couldn't get no water. The people were saying, well,
and
we're
the
using
alarms were
hoses.
turned off. That's it.
Yeah, the alarms were turned off. The most sophisticated alarm system in the world, 400 alarms all over the island. They test it every week, didn't go off. Now I found out they turned the water off. So even people trying to use their hoses, everything. They wasn't letting. There was a guy in a boat. They said, no, you can't go through, but he ignored them and he brought supplies in. Other supplies aren't getting there from the islanders. This whole thing is a massive, massive con. And there's Zuckerberg's got thousands of acres out there. Oprah Winfrey's got thousands of acres out there. And this land has been miraculously burnt down, but the roads were intact and the trees were still there. This was the part of land that they couldn't get because the people of the island, it was their ancestors, and they didn't want to sell to BlackRock and Vanguard. But now they got no choice because they ain't got no insurance. And I've been watching a lot of things about all the people there. God bless them, you know what I mean? They're just taking their land.
Yeah, and apparently
Taking
a lot of the mansions and condos.
Oh, they were all right.
They were fine, funny enough.
Yeah. And that's why it's not.
See, if you've got a building that's set in a lot of acreage and you've a large stone wall around it and you've cut back all the trees behind it and you've got very short, well-cut, well-watered grass.
Yeah, that's true.
The fire doesn't get there, you know. But the infrastructure should have been better prepared. I don't know how much. I don't think we'll ever find how complicit the authorities and the rich cunts are in all this, but it's like in England. You find a lot of places that ended up permanently flooded had been earmarked for wet marshland 10 to 15 years before, and it just let all the infrastructure that was supposed to take water away and all the flood management, they just let that go to shit, and then fuck,
what's happening now?
Yep.
In London,
people can't get insurance for every time they get flooded. It's
just the sewage system. They're dumping sewage into the rivers. You've been hearing about that? And it's owned. The Thames Water is owned by some Pakistani guy.
Well, isn't half the country.
Fuck.
No, that's good.
Yeah, and Pakistan, they have a culture of just throwing all the rubbish in the river and letting it float to the sea.
It's just mental. So sorry to bring that one in 42, and I have to talk about that later. But it's like it's where you know what I mean. It's like where you get your information from. It's like if you listen to mainstream media, you ain't gonna get what's going on around the world, and you need to have listen to other people's points of view, listen to other people's reports, and when you see actual live, camera footage of people that have survived it and they were in the water for 8 hours, and you see a different perspective. They try to shut that down, don't they, now, with the new disinformation. Yeah.
It's funny, isn't it? Well, I don't often watch mainstream media on the news anymore. I really can't, but on the odd occasion that I'll catch a bit of it. You recognise it so easily now, don't you? You just see through, and you see the agenda in every line, in everything they come out with, and the lies by omission, and that's the things that they don't talk about. And when you see it, I mean, we all say this. I know it's a bloody meme between sort of people, dissident people, but once you see it, you can't unsee it. You just can't, and it's just so obvious. I know we've seen this before, but yeah, it's a shocker.
Oh fuck! We still have an official climate emergency in Northern Ireland. The Stormont Assembly put that through. It has rained every fucking day this summer.
Exactly. And here,
see anybody that thinks that the world's boiling, do they ever go outside? Because
it's totally true, man. It's pissing down the rain here in Manchester.
Listen, I've been pissed on so many times at gigs. I've got an outdoor one tonight, and I'm expecting to get wet with taking plastic bags, stick over the gear. I'm sick of it. Absolutely sick of it. And there's no boiling. No boiling here.
The world's boiling, but every year Glastonbury turns into a fucking mud fest.
Yeah.
Oh man,
That's all.
it's all lies. Lies.
That's all the lefty piss and puke, isn't it, from the lefties?
Yeah, it beggars belief.
Climate change, isn't it?
Oh, don't get me started.
The world is boiling, and we're all gonna die, and we've got to give up our cars. We've got to give up eating meat for this zero.
42. That's going to be the next song. That's the lyrics of the next song.
Fuck, talking about all that. See the bit in the video where the water cannons are on, which is pretty close to where I live, by the way. See, whenever those water cannons were on, there was a fucking hose pipe ban.
That's amazing. You should be running out there with buckets, collecting it, and chucking it out of your garden.
Hose pipe ban, water cannon not affected.
Who were they being turned on? Those water cannons.
Right, that was flag protests in 2012. In 2012, Belfast City Council took a decision to remove the Union banner, also known as Union Jack whenever it's on ship, off Belfast City Hall, because apparently it offended some people, and a load of unionists protested. They ran protests at the City Hall every Saturday for a year and a half or thereabouts, and that was the people from East Belfast going back from that protest, and the water cannons got brought out. Yeah, and that's all the people with the flags seeing the police. That's them pushing them back away from the. And this was after they got fucking stoned by the people from Short Strand, which is a nearby nationalist area. It's nuts. But yeah, that bit of reference for everybody. See, that's what that was. That was 2012. The other one, obviously, is the Black Lives Matter with the police kneeling.
Yeah, I've seen a few of those.
That was mental.
Those cucks on the knees, just ridiculous, weren't
they? Unbelievable. We've all been fed the lies all the time, man. They made 80 million, and they spent it all the time.
Yeah, more in America. I think it's a few billion, 6 billion or something.
Yeah, the organizers of that, the trained marshals, they got very nice houses out of all that.
Well, they made all this money. It was unbelievable. What's in it? Candice Owens, she talks about it. She's just said that it was the biggest rip-off ever. It was just these guys just set up this charity, called it Black Lives Matter, and creamed 80 million out of everybody. And police just got on their knees. It's like, really? Put a little rainbow flag on there as well, mate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Back to front, upside down.
Yeah, and you'll notice whenever the police went out to them, they were in soft uniforms, soft hats, whereas whenever the were doing the other,
riot gear.
Red hot tip. If there's ever going to be trouble at a protest or anything, you'll know that the early signs is whenever the police come out in their fucking ninja gear with sticks. There's never been a riot with the police yet where the police haven't turned up with sticks, which would give you a bit of an idea about who's starting the fucking thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've heard that before, and that's I think that has been noticed by a lot of people. That has.
Yeah. Right. So, have we a timeline for the new album or anything yet, or is it just wait and see?
Well, we have one. So that track's finished. So that's going to be on it. All the other tracks are finished, bar 2. So we have one called Fear, which is you can sort of that's pretty much about what we're talking about in the mainstream media, just being feeding us lies and just keep people in a permanent state of fear. I've just got to mix that. That's pretty much done. I think you might need to do the vocals for the last take. I think I'm not too sure. And there's one last track that we're going to be doing, and that's inspired by the Sound of Freedom film with child trafficking and sort of your elite pedo rings and stuff like that. So that's something that just been. Do you want to talk about that for a minute? Because I've heard a couple of drafts of it. I haven't started working on it yet. Do you want to talk about
that. The last one.
Yeah, the one about the child trafficking. The deeper you go, the darker it gets.
Oh, I forgot to press the button.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Yeah, the deeper you go down, it's a scary song. I'm scared to even touch it, but it's been on my mind for a long time. And then when I saw, what Mel Gibson was doing and everything else, I haven't seen the film. I don't need to, because David Icke was talking about this way, way back, 20 years ago. It's been going on for a long, long time, but now it's like being so obvious. And it's like, okay, so here's your next challenge. But it's scary. It's scary.
Have either of you seen the documentary An Open Secret about Hollywood, about the child sexual abuse there?
Yeah, well, I've heard. Well, no, I haven't seen that, but I know about Hollywood and the whole Disney thing and everything. Yeah.
Yep.
I don't think I've seen that one. Is it quite a new one? 42. I haven't seen it. I don't think.
I would say I would need to check. I think it's somewhere in around about 2014, 2015, 2016. Whenever it was brought out, strangely enough, that's probably what started the whole Me Too thing, because that film came out and it got suppressed, and then Weinstein got accused, and it changed the narrative about what the problem was in Hollywood. Because, well, fuck me, everybody's got to be amazingly shocked that there was a casting couch for adult actors in Hollywood. That a real shocker. But I think they were much more interested in talking about that and throwing some of them under the bus than they were in what was going on with the kids.
Just tell me what it's called again. I'm just going to write it down.
Right. Oh, I'll send you a link after this.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, nice one.
Well, the other thing is, it's quite hard to find unless you know exactly where to look for it.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, what a surprise.
Yeah, but I'll send you a link, mate. Anything else?
Yeah, I'll just finish on what I was talking about the album. When that track's done, because it was originally going to be an EP, because we had sort of like 4 or 5 songs on there, but now there's going to be 8 or 9, and I think we could call that an album just about. So as soon as that last track is done and mixed, that'll be up on Spotify and iTunes and everywhere else like that. So and of course Harmony, Melody and Rhyme will be on it, so it'll be all good. Well, that's about it.
Obviously, whenever you are launching that, you're very welcome to come back on, and I'll be plugging it like a hellion.
Cheers, thank you. I thought you might.
Yeah.
Cheers, mate. Appreciate that. Look, well, and thank you for playing all the other Justice Kane stuff as well that you've been playing at the end of the track, and asking people to sub and everything, because it is seriously low.
See, I've been sort of looking for outros that I'm happy with. I started off mainly with Crazy Frog, Alex Jones thing, and I've went through a couple of different ones that I would use intermittently. But what I really want to do is push small independent music. So I'm more than happy to find something that I can use.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, I can something that's really happening right now, and I think it was written in about 2018 or something like that. It's off the first Justice Kane album, which is John's Revelation, and it's all really about the cashless society and everything that's happening now with cash being stopped and compulsory digital currencies and stuff like that. And but it was quite a funny one because Justice rang me up and said, "Look, I've got this idea for a song." I said, "Okay, great." He said, "Do you remember the sunscreen song where the guy's talking?" And I said, "Yeah." And I said, "Well, he's just talking over music." I said, "Okay, right." He said, "Yeah, I'm gonna read the Book of Revelations, all right, over some music." Okay, great. If you've got any other ideas, but I don't know if you want to stick one because it's quite it's a basic little video with sort of some animation on it. I don't know if you want to
First attempt.
yeah, do an outro on that one, but that is a great tune.
Yeah.
You'll hear that.
Good shout out, man.
Yeah, it's really good, and it was talking about all this shit that we're all talking about now.
Microchips in the phones and shit. I mean,
Yeah, it's all about not being able to buy or sell. We all sort of know about that. Can't buy or sell without the mark of the beast. But and also well done for cramming the line. What's the line about the microchip? What's the line in it?
so you got which line you're talking about?
About you mentioned the microchip in the song.
Oh, it's in the chorus, isn't it?
Yeah.
I know what I'm saying. Seems a little too hard to believe. 2,000-year-old scriptures talking about microchip technology.
That's it. You've actually crammed microchip technology into that. Is amazing.
Here,
But,
Justice, is that Revelations one on your channel?
Yep.
What's it
that's
called?
John's Revelation.
John's Revelation. Talk away there.
It's the first time I attempt at videoing. So, but actually, when you look at it with the little cartoon things and the phone, because the phone's a big important point to get everybody connected up, and it's all there. It's quite mad. I gave it all to David Icke. You know what I mean?
He gave it all to you.
We saw him, didn't we? Down in London, wasn't it?
We did. Yeah,
Brixton.
We did. And
brilliant, right?
It's so much. It's a bit like the Alex Jones thing, where everyone, Alex Jones was right, because all the mad, crazy stuff that he talks about, and he's ended up being proved right. But yeah, it's the same. Oh, you popping it on here?
Yeah, I'm gonna play it.
Okay, great. Right.
Oh, well done.
We'll leave it at that. Nice one.
Nice one, mate.
This is quoted from the Book of Revelations. Happy is he who reads aloud those that hear the words of this prophecy, and who observe the things that are written, for the appointed time is near. This is the Apostle John's revelation. I believe the appointed time is here. Woe to the earth, for the sea, because the devil has come down to you. He is angry. He knows he only has a short period of time. But who is like the wild beast? Who could do battle with him? He misleads those that dwell upon the earth, and he kills those who do not worship his image. And we grant him the power to wage war on the holy ones, and help bring to ruin this beautiful earth. For those who can hear, if you live by the sword, you will die by the sword. And he will put under compulsion all persons, the great and the small, the rich and the poor, that they all will be given a mark on their right hand or upon their foreheads, that nobody will be able to buy or sell except the person having the mark, the name, or the number. Here is where it was. Let the one that has intelligence calculate that number. For it is a man's number. His number is 666. I know what I'm saying. Seems a little too hard. talking about finding chip technology. Future the banks. Let those with wisdom here. Power in the number. Who's like the wild beast? The one they call the devil and Satan, who is misleading the entire inhabited earth. I don't see the beauty of you. Down with you, talking about partnership technology. Future banks. Think John is talking about the master plan. John is talking about the master plan. Oh, master plan. Name is a number. Oh, 666. The man will be able to buy or sell. You live by the sword, you will die by the sword. The master plan. Name is a number. 666. Master plan. John is talking about the master plan. Name is a number. 666. 666. The master plan. John is talking about the master plan. The new world. 2,000 years. It's John's Revelation, chapter 13. No man will buy or sell.
That was a mad one, that. With all them 66666s in there, I had a nightmare with the DS stuff. It's brilliant. But yeah, it was an unusual concept to do that, and but it works really good.
That's a cool
Cheers.
song.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Yeah, cheers for that, Al. It's like I can hear it. It's cutting out again on my side, but it's I was at Sunday school when I was a kid, so I kind of grew up with teachings of the Bible. And when I got a little bit older, I kind of researched it even a little bit more because I've always wanted to know the truth. So, you know, Justice Kane is about knowing the truth. It's not just about conspiracy theories. It's about knowing the truth, wanting to understand the truth, you know. And so with the Bible, and that, when I read that part, I thought, well, bloody hell. And then as time went on, and I could associate it with people saying, yeah, you can get chips for your phone into your wrist here, and you can get it into the brain. It's like, well, it's happening. So this thing was written in the Bible. You know, there's a part of it that makes a hell of a lot of sense. And so I thought, all right, I'll write a song about it.
Yeah,
And like I say,
I'm sorry.
now that was it. Early video, as you can see, didn't all time up, but yeah, you know, it's good. Glad we did it.
Well, not that I'm keeping score or anything, but us conspiracy theorists are winning 27-0.
Yeah, exactly. But that was the other sort of thing on there about not being able to buy or sell without the mark of the beast, and that's what the central bank digital currencies are going to be. You know, you can be in the aisle at supermarkets or in the checkout supermarket. You could be scanning through your potatoes and all that, and you'll have your half a kilo of minced beef, and it will just say no. it will say no. You can't have that. You've had your
ration.
you've had your ration of red meat. You've had your ration of 20 litres of diesel, and
He'll be there.
that will allow that to happen. Where just by saying, well, using a debit card is cash society, not really. It's still sort of based on some kind of currency that's supposed to exist, which we know doesn't. It's just numbers on a computer.
Have you noticed how many people are no longer paying with a card, but they're paying with their phone?
Yes,
Good.
and even my girlfriend started doing that as well. Yeah,
It started with the COVID thing, though. Germs. The COVID's on the money, so pay with the card. It's all been a clever plan. Very well done.
Yeah.
Okay. When we lose cash, we lose the freedom. When they take away our cars, we lose our freedom. Because then we can't move anywhere. We can't do anything without them knowing what we're doing.
Well, not to bring things back to the gutter or anything, but with all this movement about not having cars and all that, for the love of God, won't somebody think about the poor street walking prostitutes?
Yeah. How would I get down to? How would I get down to the dogging site?
No, it's not even the dogging site, because we have a long tradition of street walking prostitutes that walk around certain areas and people drive along in their car and pick them up, take them up, and they do their business.
Oh,
well, that whenever you're not allowed to drive anywhere, whenever you drive, whenever you're not allowed to drive anywhere, that business model's gone.
Yeah. Well, if always use those electric scooters, and you can pick them up and stick them on the back of those.
Oh fuck!
Oh my God!
That's our future, people. That is our future.
Oh, right. Okay. We're going 53 minutes now. I'm thinking about wrapping this up. Is there anything else either two you have burning to get off your chest?
No, I'm all right. I don't make you justice. I think, we'll let everyone know when this album's out. And please have a listen to the video in its entirety when it goes live, so you can hear the audio better as well. So you spend quite a lot of time doing the audio, so just so you can hear that, because it does sound pretty cool. Thank you for having us on, mate, and thank you for an excellent poem that gave us the ingredients for another cool tune.
Yep.
Yeah, stop nicking my words, man. I've got to say something. 42. I kept saying to Al, I said, "What's his name?" He said, 42. I said, no. What's his real name? He said, 42. He said, "Just see, like your name's Justice." I said, "Yeah." He said, "Just the same thing." It's like, oh, right. So it's been an absolute pleasure talking with you, and this has been a great experience. I've never done this kind of Zoom thing before, so that was really fun, and I can't wait to do it again. And like I say, without you, we wouldn't have got to this point, and that's all good.
Thank you very much for your kind words. I have emails from the health minister that start with "Dear 40."
Brilliant.
I've been 42 since 2012, and not just on the internet. I've took that out in the real world. But what I will also say is I absolutely love what you two did with that. I played the first time I played that, the finished one, the Emma G. I also went back and played the original recording that I sent you, and the transformation is fucking amazing. And apart from that, then there was all the bits where you'd say to me, right, I need another couple of lines, and I would send you back the lines you'd asked for, and some other madness that I cooked up on the spot.
You got involved. Yeah. It all worked at the end.
Yeah, I got that in there. Yes, send us some. Answer the telephone. So, man, I'm glad Emma G likes it. And if you're listening tonight, Emma G, hi mate, and we'll catch you soon as well.
The other thing I need to add is, whenever you go to listen to this, whenever it's live off the track, for the love of God, put in your better earpods, connect your better Bluetooth speaker, get the sound, because it's fucking epic.
Mm,
You're
yeah,
not going to get
definitely.
that low rumble sound that comes through it in
Mm,
your off your
mm,
computer speaker.
Yeah, that's right.
yeah.
That's right. No, excellent. No, thanks for this. It's been a
Yeah,
blast.
it's
And Justice, yeah,
it's
I'll
been a
speak
real.
to you soon.
Yeah, I just want to say 42. For the moment I think you sent me a text on the Facebook or something like that. But you said, I'm looking forward to the song. I know it's going to be profound. And I sat down and I said, oh, bloody hell, he thinks it's going to be profound. And he said, well, don't worry. Is it
Well,
profound?
it is. It is definitely profound.
All right, that's what we want.
It's absolutely amazing, mate. I absolutely love it. And the both of you are welcome back again anytime.
Brilliant.
Definitely, whenever the album comes out, we want to push that. We want to get that to ears. You're doing your bit, getting out a good message, very well put together. And now we just need to, as John said, those that have ears to hear, let them hear.
Brilliant.
Well,
Look forward to working with you very
Yep.
soon.
Yes, brilliant.
Thanks,
Okay.
mate.
Thank you very
All
much.
right.
See you later.
All the
Good
best.
chat. All right.
All right.
Cheers.
Bye.
Take care.
Well, people, are we impressed? So here we go. The next segment we've got coming out is we're going to do a little bit about William Shakespeare, and then we're going to wrap it up. But I have a burning question. Do you people want to hear the song again? The harmony, justice, and rhyme one. If you want to hear it again, stick a 1 in the chat. And if you want to just move on to Shakespeare, stick a 2 in the chat. It's really pretty much that simple, because we're going to be a democracy for a minute. Oh, that's enough for me, pretty much. Yes. Uh-huh. 1 second. I get this up. Oh, yes, there's one's all over the shop. Of course, really. All right, here we go. Right.
Hello, this is 42 speaking. Welcome to the Resistance. You are not alone, and we shall walk this journey together. What about you, John? If one brings a guitar and one brings a voice, then they stand together and make their own choice. Let us gather together those that can perform, and from the scarred timbers build our own platform. We're from that grand house they tried to burn down. There's gold in the ashes if you look around. Let us gather together those that can perform, then from those scarred timbers build our own platform. Build our own platform. We will sing words of wisdom. We will sing world harmony, melody, and rhyme. forced to stand by as our country was sold. Did you really think we'd leave that story untold? So one brings a guitar and one brings a voice. Then they stand together and make their own choice. They have seen the future, the way forward is clear. Among us still stands a modern day Shakespeare. They have seen the future, the way forward is clear. Among us still stands a modern day Shakespeare. Forced to stand by as our country was sold. Did you really think we'd leave that story untold? We will sing words of wisdom. We will sing we will sing harmony, melody, pride. Harmony, melody, and pride. So one brings a guitar and one brings a voice. Then they stand together and make their own choice. I have seen the future, the way forward is clear. Among us still stands a modern day Shakespeare. With power and wealth, you control the mainstream, but you never realized you could not kill a dream. So we will gather together those that can perform, and from the scarred timbers build our own platform. You're talking the 42. What about you, chum? If one brings a guitar and one brings a voice, then they stand together and make their own choice. We will sing words of wisdom, we will sing for all time, we will sing for our people, harmony, melody, and pride. We will sing words of wisdom, we will sing for all time, we will sing for our people with the ancient trilogy of harmony, melody, pride. We create large society through family, God, and tribe. The gods of water, earth, and land brought us through a line. The earth, the moon, the sun, each became a deity, independent parts of another trilogy. Is it a coincidence, or is it just sublime that we now bring you excellence in harmony, melody, and pride? With power and wealth, you control the mainstream, but you never realized you could not kill a dream. You cannot kill a dream. And we shall walk this journey together.
The sound issue, I think that's because it was recorded and then it was going through like StreamYards twice. I think that's why the first one, the sound was a bit down. The full version will be that video what I just played. That will be live at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. Anglo, thank you very much. Yeah, Paul, I'm going to look that up. Linda, thank you very much. So there you go. That's my foray into the music industry. Uh, I honestly think it went really well. Now, what we're doing next, yes, we're going to talk a little bit about William Shakespeare. Was our next plan of action? Or no, sorry, William Wordsworth. Emma G saying call in. Right, hold on. Right, there's a link. I'm going to have to do something Wordsworth because actually I can do the Wordsworth really, really quickly. Let's see. A little bit of William Wordsworth. And it's not daffodils. Yep, right, hold on. Here's a nice little poem by William Wordsworth called I Travelled Among Unknown Men.
I Travelled Among Unknown Men by William Wordsworth. I travelled among unknown men in lands beyond the sea, nor England did I know till then what love I bore to thee. 'Tis past, that melancholy dream, nor will I quit thy shore a second time, for still I seem to love thee more and more. Among thy mountains did I feel the joy of my desire, and she I cherished turned her wheel beside an English fire. Thy mornings shewed, thy nights concealed the bowers where Lucy played, and thine is to the last green field that Lucy's eyes surveyed.
There you go. That was a little bit of William Wordsworth. One that only has a twat. If anybody wants to come on and have a chat about all the madness tonight, there's a link in the chat, and you can come in. And Sansom's in his poetry mode again. And then I realised, with 6 pints aboard, that yes, I need to pee. Sansom, you actually could actually write some good poetry, I believe. Right, a little bit about William Worth of Words. Boom, boom, boom. Bring this up. Mm-hmm. A little bit of a biography of William Wordsworth. I need to check this on the screen. That is way too small. Zoom in and zoom in again. Back to StreamYard. He bloody could. Oh, there's a Vikings in. Mr. Viking, what about you, chum?
Not bad, Mr. 42. How's yourself?
Doing good. Doing good.
Yeah.
I'm actually quite happy because I've been working on that song for a while, and yeah, there's a bit. Yeah, Sansom straight on there with a foreigner alert. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So
yeah, he's been doing that all night. Yeah,
yeah,
I thought it was a good video there with the feet and it just very, very rhyming with all the poetry. It's better than shit rap any day.
yeah. Well, rap. There's a
Well,
reason. There's a reason why rappers like to boast about how fast they can rap and all that. It's because whenever you speak at that speed, people only get to hear every third word, so it takes away any meaning or anything. Whereas
yeah,
that video is spoken word poetry set to music.
no, I thought it was really good. It just was quite funny with the feet appearing in every few moments, and then I thought to myself, those feet must be well blistered if you had done that amount of walking at any time.
Yeah, but you see, here's the thing. But in that song, it says at several points, and we shall walk this journey together.
Yeah,
So it's that's why the video has a lot of walking on it because it ties it together.
yeah, of course. I mean, I'm assuming it was made over a couple of days rather than, or it was all just the one day you were driving here and there.
No, well, it could have all been done in one day if every time that I took some video that it was exactly what I wanted, but it sometimes wasn't, so I
Yeah,
had to go back and yeah, and also the video changed the song changed a couple of times, the video changed a couple of times, so you know, it,
yeah. No, it's
yeah.
just usually these things take a while to make. But maybe I didn't see it right, but it looked like your trousers changed once or twice at some point. So there's what I thought. Different days, like an
Oh
Indian movie.
no, you've seen it wrong. It must be a lighting or something because I was very careful
Gotcha.
about having the same trousers, the same boots.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was a good video. So there.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Right.
It was a joy to do, and all Mac, Justice Kane are an absolute pleasure to work with, and it all went good.
Mm-hmm. Good.
Oh, somebody else is in. Mr. Herbert's in.
Oh, cool.
Mr. Herbert, what about you, son? Chum?
Good evening, 42. Good evening, the foreigner Viking, I understand. Yeah,
Good evening, my lord.
that's very kind of you, sir. I return the compliment.
Oh,
What I was going to say, 42, that there's no way you can have a stream about Rudyard Kipling without somebody reading his most famous poem.
Oh,
If.
yeah.
Would you
Are you
like me to
sure?
read it?
Right, are you sure you want to do that?
Carry on.
Right, yeah. Work away.
Okay,
I
here we go.
there, be advised, there are reasons why I did not put F in.
Well, all right, I will read it as
Right,
it was
yes.
written.
Yes, read it as it was written.
Okay, here we go. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too, if you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good, nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken and stoop and build them up with worn out tools. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose and start again at your beginnings, and never breathe a word about your loss. You can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it. And, which is more, you'll be a man, my son.
90% of that poem is good. There are a couple of problems. Namely, the line about lying. I agree with don't tell lies, but do not stand idly by while others lie about you. There's a couple of lines in it about, oh, yes, I will agree. Mr. Duck is totally correct. Rory, that was a very good reading, and I should have said so. I have issues with that in that it advocates for saying and doing nothing while you're slandered. It argues for being passive when your good work is torn down by others. And I do not think that those are good attitudes. I think that there is a place for situational anger and action upon that situational anger. And there's some of the lines in it that are, and as I said, 90% of it's really good. But the bits where he's advocating for allowing others to do negative stuff against you and take no action, I think those traits are very damaging, particularly to men.
Well, yes, I mean, there's obviously, a lot of Christianity involved there, and a bit of turn the other cheek. But at the end of the day, I think it's an excellent poem. As I said, one of his best known.
Oh yeah, there's a reason why that one was pushed, and the Wrath of the Awakened Saxon or Saxon and Norman were not pushed, because it has got a message that people want diffused among society, whereas the other two do not.
Well, yeah, I think, yeah, you may well be right there.
It's the closest Kipling gets to the romanticism that Wordsworth has, and going back towards courtly love.
Yes, I think you're right. The other thing, sorry, I don't want to get in the way of
No.
Mr. exiled foreigner, but um, I wanted to bring up The Man Who Would Be King, which was his novel, I think, in 1888.
Yes.
And then became a film in the 1970s, wasn't it? With Sean Connery and who's another famous actor, can't remember off the top of my head. What's his name? He was in Zulu. Michael Caine, of course. Yeah, Michael Caine. I mean, which I thought was an absolutely excellent movie. But had a lot to do with Freemasonry. You must know that movie, 42. Come on.
I actually don't.
You don't? Oh my gosh.
But
you know.
Which probably puts me in. Yeah, it probably puts me in a minority of the population and something that I'm probably going to have to watch now. But
it's a real classic. It's about two ex-soldiers from India who go into northern Afghanistan, and they actually take over the country by basically teaching the locals how to fight the enemy. And then they go to this ruling religion, and Sean Connery, he gets shot in the chest by an arrow, and it doesn't harm him and he's then thought of as a god, and so he goes to the religious leaders. Sorry, they try and work out whether he's a god or not, and they try and kill him. And then once he takes off his top, and there is his Freemason sign, and this matches their sign that only the high priest knows about, and they immediately worship him as a god. You got to watch it. I don't want to spoil it. I am spoiling it. Sorry.
Right. Hold on. Samson has brought something up. I have no idea what I'm reading here. I'm reading it verbatim. 42. Please remind Rory of this line from Connery and Slade Jeffrey in The Man Who Would Be King. Right. Off you get, you sticky-fingered little baboo. Thank you. Sarah. Right. Is that actually in the film?
Well, yes, because he's with the Indians, you see. Thank you, Saab. But so, all right, as you've never watched it, I'll leave it up to you. But yeah, I think you'd enjoy it, 42. I really do.
Yeah. Oh, I've stuck it on the watch list. To be totally honest with you, I was totally oblivious to its existence until I started reading stuff about Kipling for this stream.
Well, I said it was a novel of his in 1888.
Yeah.
So, nearly 100 years before the film was actually made. But
yeah,
he's actually played by an actor in the film. I can't remember the actor's name, but he is portrayed in the film. Anyway, that's kind of all I wanted to say. I thought I'd read that poem. I thought that was important.
Yes, it was a very good reading.
Well, thank you for
it. For quite a while, I actually quite liked the poem, and then I read it, and I was like, "There's problems with this." It's basically an advice poem, how you should set up and live your life, and while Take Up the White Man's Burden explains what the burden is and what the perils and pitfalls are, if places a couple of burdens on people without explaining that they're a burden, explains them as a virtue, and they're quite damaging ones. And all of a sudden, we've turned into a stream that discusses fucking poetry in depth.
Well, why not? Why not indeed?
Yes. The other thing, if got very well spread among the populace with the use of posters and it being put up as instead of a painting and stuff like that. It has traveled far and wide. But the Wrath of the Awakened Saxon, it went fucking nowhere compared to it. But society didn't like that one just so well. And Saxon and Norman has a very, very limited reach. And of the three of them, I think Saxon and Norman has the could have, should have the most cultural impact. It's a guideline of how to treat people whenever you move to their country. And that's something that society has fucking forgot about. Well, if it's a Western country. If it's an Eastern country, they would probably advise you to take some precautions and be nice to people. But in the West, they just say, just go and do whatever the fuck you want. Well, Anglo, I'll agree with you there. I do wish we had a Kipling today. I don't think that today Kipling would have got to the notoriety that he is because he had too many ideas that seemed to like British people.
Well, you know what? It's a bit like Roald Dahl. I mean, again, one of the best authors, in my opinion, but look what society's making of him, a racist or whatever, it's crazy.
Oh, fuck. The problems with the Big Friendly Giant and shit like that. We have now, Paul, only supposed to blow the bloody ethics up. Oh, fuck. Yeah, only supposed to blow the doors off. But we have, well, not we, the collective wave, right, get my teeth back in. The collective left and academia have begun judging people from yesteryear with the sensibilities of today, and that's never going to end well. And Gammon Sandwich, that's a very good question because I was thinking, what the fuck was that noise too?
Well, I don't think it was me. I was just pouring a gin and tonic.
No,
I know it might be on at 20 to 1 in the morning, but there we go. It is your stream after all.
No, well, here's the other thing. While I was watching the pre-recorded section, I did have a small bevy because I've got to the end of a large piece of work, and I thought it would probably safe to have a little beer. And yeah, so you're in good company. So I never drink on stream. Well, Christmas I would pop a tinny during a stream. But there we go. There's a question. Has Charles Dickens became a Nazi yet? Is anybody trying to take him down?
Well, I haven't heard anything about it, but I wouldn't be surprised. Sorry, over to you, Exalt.
I was just going to say, everything these days is a Nazi or far right. Give it time and they'll start deconstructing Dickens. They'll do that.
What would their complaint be? That the ghosts of Christmas past, Christmas future, and Christmas present were all too white?
Yeah, because there is no BAMEs involved. That's what they will say. There's no diversity. So therefore he must be a racist. You know how it'll spin this shit.
Yeah.
And of course, he was Jewish, wasn't he? Yeah. Man was saving his money. Yeah.
Yeah.
Scrooge?
Yeah, Scrooge. Yeah.
Right.
He was a Jew.
I read a little while ago that it was quite interesting because during that time, there was a depression going on. So money was losing value. And of course, he kept all his money. And keeping your money when there's a depression means your money actually increases in value. So funnily enough, what Scrooge was actually doing was the right thing to do in terms of keeping your wealth.
Yeah. But we do know for a fact that Fagin was a Jew and he was a money miser too. He just kept his money.
Well, they do tend to do that. And then, of course, there's the whole point about usury and, that being illegal for many, many hundreds of years. But there we go. And, of course, now they make money, on the interest.
Yes, they do indeed. There's a lot of money made on interest.
I remember hearing many years ago that the Queen, she made £1 million of interest a day, that she had so much money. So you can imagine how much money she had in personal money.
I would love to know how they figured that out.
Well, that's what was in the papers. We're talking like 30 years ago.
Yeah, I understand that they put it in the papers. That doesn't mean that it's necessarily true. Because okay. See whenever the condition of taking on your job is that you give the country you work for all of your worldly goods, all your land, all your money, all your titles, for them to control, and they basically pay you a wage. It's hard to know where she gets that amount of money from.
Well, for anyone to have £1 million a day interest, you would have to be multi-billionaire. And back then, there weren't so many billionaires. There were mostly in America.
Right. Yeah, but let me explain this. Who owns Buckingham Palace?
I think it belongs to the state, or to.
Oh yes. Buckingham Palace belongs to the state. All of the royal buildings belong to the state. The crown jewels belong to the state. All of the stuff that the monarch has that is worth money belongs to the state. And whenever one monarch dies and another monarch takes over, they take possession of all that wealth for about 5 minutes before they hand it all back to the state again. So I don't know where they're figuring out that the Queen had a shitload of money and that she was able to make that amount of interest on it. I
Yeah,
think whoever wrote that was Big Chief Shitting Bull.
yeah, bullshit merchant basically. Probably
Yeah.
was one of these anti-royal sentiment to stir up the discontent again, because there was a lot of that going on back there.
Oh, there's a lot of that all the time.
Yeah,
Just to,
I would
just to,
I would say I'd say a more realistic figure should probably maybe per year, maybe I had an interest of 1 million per year or every few years, but every day I think that's a bit of an exaggeration for sure.
well, I
And
just
not,
had a quick thought there, regarding the assets of the royal family. And presumably, they are, as you say, owned by the state or in care of the state, so that the children don't have to pay capital gains tax on them. Because if they had to, I mean, what would they have to do? Sell the crown jewels? Probably, or part of them.
well,
I thought Balmoral was owned by the royal family. Thought that was the only thing not owned by the state.
they, they
I'm
give
assuming.
they give all the land to the state in return for their royal lands.
Okay.
Right. So here's what happens: you become the monarch. You've got all this wealth. You hand it to the state, and in return for giving the state all your worldly goods, the state pays you a royal allowance. So,
Okay.
Right, yeah, sort of. 42. I
right,
mean, what? I mean, talk about the Duchy of Cornwall. I mean, there's a lot of land there, and obviously he gets his rent and rates to, or his rent certainly. The council probably gets the rates, but I think that money goes back to the Duchy. Does go back to the Duchy of Cornwall. So he's earning an income from his assets.
I'm honestly not sure.
Well, I'm not absolutely sure, but
I was on the impression that the monarch handed over all their assets. The state ran the assets and gave them an allowance.
I don't think it's all
Uh,
the assets. I mean, Prince Charles, well, King Charles now. I mean, he's used to have that business, didn't he, making soups and Dutchy originals.
Yep.
He made money out of that. It was nothing to do with the state at all. In fact, I think it's now been bought by Waitrose, I think.
Yeah, but that was a business he started up and ran by himself. That wasn't inherited land or inherited buildings
No,
or
absolutely not.
crown
Yeah.
jewels or whatever. I think what that deals with is everything that you inherit, which as the king or queen is all the royal parks, lands, gardens, and but if you while you're a prince or whatever, uh, start yourself a business and earn money on that, well, that's yours. So basically, what happens is he's took the money that he got as an allowance, used that to start a business. Well, that business isn't part of the inheritance, so he can sell
Right.
that.
Gammon Sandwich just made an interesting comment in the chat there. He's saying the City of London owns the crown jewels, not the monarch. And Sanson replied, and who owns the City of London? Well, that's a very good question.
Oh, the City of London Corporation owns the City of London.
Yeah, but I think he was referring to some other species.
Oh,
yeah, I got it. I got it.
right.
I got it as well.
Yeah, but
Okay.
that's not the City of London. The square mile City of London is not owned by right.
Well, as we know well, 42, Emma G and I used to march in the City of London parade.
Yes,
With, yeah,
the City of London Lord Mayor show.
yes. I was going back a little bit, but I remember that well.
Yes,
it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
It actually looked very good. It did indeed.
I mean, I think if you want to, as October just said, I think if you have to ask who owns the City of London, you have to say, well, who owns the Bank of England?
Well, here's the interesting thing: the City of London Corporation owns the Bank of England. Whenever you look at, the sound's gone a bit mad.
Only on paper. I mean, who do they owe their debt to?
Well, whose signature is it on the banknotes?
Oh, that's the governor of the Bank of England.
No, it's not. It's the
No.
governor of the City of London Corporation.
Okay. Well, in Scotland, the signature is like the governor of the Bank of Scotland and Lord something or another, but I don't know about the English banknotes. Because in Scotland we've got our own banks and designs as well.
Right. Hold on. You may have your own banks and designs, but you're still in the same monetary system. Like the exchange rate, right? The exchange rate between an English pound and a Scottish pound is strangely a pound for a pound.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's a sterling currency. In England, acts as the central bank for the whole United Kingdom.
Yes.
I know that. Yeah.
Yep. And I think you'll find that whenever it comes down to it, the person in charge of that would be the chief executive of the City of London Company.
Okay. Shows how little I know about that. Because I never really gave it any thought, to be fair.
You are aware that 1 mile city of London has got different rules and laws to the rest of Great Britain?
Yeah, I do know that London has more than one police force. There's the City of London Police, there's the Metropolitan, and the Thames Valley Police.
Okay. All of the banking regulations inside the City of London. So if you get your headquarters inside that square mile, you're working under different banking rules than the rest of Great Britain, and it's pretty similar to the Cayman Islands.
Okay.
It's basically an offshore bank that is inside a country.
Right.
Right. Here we go. I've just pulled out a tenner.
Right.
£10 note. And to read from it, it says, Bank of England, I promise to pay the bearer on demand the sum of £10.
Right.
But there's another little interesting thing on top left.
Yep.
And it says £10, London, for the governor and company of the Bank of England, signed by Sarah John. Have I heard of her? Chief cashier. So
right. Yes.
So presumably that's who's actually issuing it.
Yes. Right now, read that again, nice and slow.
What, the last one?
Right. Yes, the second one.
The second one. All right. It says it's a bit small print.
Right. Yep.
£10, London. Says,
yep.
For the governor and company of the Bank of England.
Right.
And then there's a signature, Sarah John, Chief Cashier.
The company of the Bank of England.
Yes.
Right, not the Bank of England, the company of the Bank of England, and that is owned by the City of London Corporation.
Okay.
So the City of London Corporation creates a company called the Bank of England. and that's who it is issuing your money. The other thing is, I'm strongly considering taking the Bank of England to court for false advertising, because we have not been able to go and exchange notes for gold since the early 70s.
Yeah, since it took away the backing by gold. Yeah, 71.
Yep. I am strongly considering at some stage presenting myself at the Bank of England and asking for my gold for one of those £20 notes to find out what happens.
No.
Because I think there's a court case in that.
Okay. You should take Rory with you. Go a small army of you. That would be fun.
And what, and demand our gold? I don't think the Bank of England would let us in somehow. In fact,
I know, you could work wonders, Rory. You could say, "Excuse me, do you know who I am? I'm Rory Herbert from YouTube. And I know so and so. I know this, I know that." You can lay it on, and they will eventually say, "Oh, my lord, I do forgive me."
If they do not let us in, that is evidence that they're breaking their promise to provide on demand a sum of £10.
It is interesting, though.
Yeah, so I mean, they can kick us out if they want, and it just strengthens our court case.
Yeah.
Well, the other problem is, I mean, we don't have much gold reserves left anyway in the Bank of England. I mean, I'm sure there's enough to pay us our £20 or so, but after, who was the Chancellor, the Labour Chancellor, who sold it all?
Oh, Gordon Brown.
Gordon Brown, that's the guy.
Yeah. But
who sold it at the lowest possible price. It's ridiculous. He announced he was going to sell it, so the price dropped, knowing it was going to be cheap. I mean, this is meant to be the Chancellor of the Exchequer. This is meant to be an economist.
Yeah,
he goes and does that.
He was advised by certain individuals not to do it. People in the bank who knew financial, and yet the prick went ahead and did it for shitty bum deals, which were of no benefit to the UK at all.
Exactly. Well, we've moved on from poetry somehow, haven't we, gentlemen?
We have. And we're also moving towards the end because, first of all, it's come to 1 o'clock. Second of all, I'm coming towards my StreamYard hours limit, and I need to leave some for next week. So,
is there a StreamYard hours limit? I didn't know about that.
Oh, you get 20 hours. You get 20 hours a month.
Oh, okay, all right. But then you have to pay more for it or something.
Well, not pay more, just pay in general, because the StreamYard I'm using is free.
Right. Okay.
Right. I'm on the freebie plan, which gives me which gives me 20 hours a month, and I think I have approximately 3 hours left for next week. Right. So I need to be thinking about wrapping this up.
No, that's absolutely fine. I really only came on to read that poem.
Yes, you only come on to read it, and you read it very well.
Yeah, and I just came on to hang out with the boys and say hello and all the banter.
Well, and I'm very glad that you did, and I enjoyed your company. Can anybody guess what I'm going to play out with tonight for the intro?
No.
A harmony, melody, and rhyme.
Okay.
An Irish march band. March,
No,
perhaps?
no, I'm. Uh, yeah, I'm chilling this video to the max. I'm going to play it with my own fucking song again.
You know, on one of these days, I'm expecting you to say that you're going to play the Sash My Father Wore. That would be funny.
It doesn't really work as an outro. If I was going to do anything like that, it would probably be. It would probably have there. There's quite a good singing rendition of the Protestant Boys. I would go that direction before we go the Sash.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough.
But
Right, well, carry on. 42.
Right, here we go. I'm going to present this up, and this is the last time you'll hear it tonight. It'll go live tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. And here we go. Justice Kane featuring 42. And we'll put all your messages up at the end.
Hello, this is 42 speaking. Welcome to the Resistance. You are not alone, and we shall walk this journey together. What about you, Sean? If one brings a guitar and one brings a voice, then they stand together and make their own choice. Let us gather together those that can perform, and from the scarred timbers build our own platform. We're from that grand house they tried to burn down. There's gold in the ashes if you look around. Let us gather together those that can perform. Then from those scarred timbers build our own platform. Build our own platform. We will sing words of wisdom. We will sing world harmony, melody, and rhyme. We descended from minstrels in old days of yore. We will create a culture as we did once before, forced to stand by as our country was sold. Did you really think we'd leave that story untold? So one brings a guitar and one brings a voice. Then they stand together and make their own choice. They have seen the future, the way forward is clear. Among us still stands a modern day Shakespeare. They have seen the future, the way forward is clear. Among us still stands a modern day Shakespeare. To stand by as our country was sold. Did you really think we'd leave that story untold? We will sing words of wisdom. We will sing we will sing harmony, melody, rhyme. Harmony, melody, and rhyme. So one brings a guitar and one brings a voice. Then they stand together and make their own choice. I have seen the future, the way forward is clear. Among us still stands a modern day Shakespeare. dream. So we will gather together those that can perform, and from the scarred timbers build our own platform. You're talking to 42. What about you, chum? If one brings a guitar and one brings a voice, then they stand together and make their own choice. We will sing words of wisdom, we will sing for all time. We will sing for our people, harmony, melody, and pride. We will sing words of wisdom, we will sing for all time. We will sing for our people with the ancient trilogy of harmony, melody, pride. We create large society through family, God, and tribe. The gods of water, air, and land brought us through the land. The earth, the moon, the sun, each became a deity in the hidden parts of another trilogy. Is it a coincidence or is it just sublime that we now bring excellence in harmony, melody, and pride? With power and wealth, you control the mainstream, but you never realized you could not kill a dream. You cannot kill a dream. And we shall walk this journey together.
Was fucking muted. Okay, everybody, thank you very much. Rory and Exile were Rory and Exile. Al Mac and Justice Kane were Justice Kane. StreamYards fucked up with the comments. I've had none come through, so can put them up on the screen. I don't know what's going on there. But you in the chat have, as always, been fucking awesome. Thank you very much. See you all next week. Good night and God bless. I'm out of here. Go on. Bye.